Welcome, shalom, shalom. Long time no see. As I have explained in the group, I didn't have my keyboard was not working from my computer, so I had to buy one online and waited to get in. So it's been 1 month that I'm not recording any classes, not neither for you or for anyone else. So basically, I'm 1 month without working, and that's terrible, terrible, terrible. Uh, I wish you well. I wish your family is well, the baby and everyone else. Anyways, let's start. Remember, we are always studying the halacha. The halacha is really the core of our living, and the amount of knowledge you have by now, it urges us to study halacha. This is what lacks around the world. People people tend to people who are involved in avodat Hashem, in the service of Hashem. They want to know stories mostly, or they want to find small curiosities so they can tell each other. Few people want to learn Alaha. And I think I told that when we first started studying together, is that from the moment you know the truth, no one can take you for granted anymore. No one can tell you anything else, and because you know the answer, because you know what sounds right and what does not sound right. Okay, so the picture that opens up this class is at the kotel, the wall, the western wall, and some people, women, doing the reading of the Torah. Okay, so women wearing uh, those talitot, and also a man. They're all doing the reading, and we have a very special yad, not a classical yad, but a colorful one. Okay, it's quite common for women to wear purple. You see purple on the with the woman on the background. You see purple on the talit on the table. It's a common uh, color for women who wants to wear a talit. Anyways, הלכות קריאת ספר תורה. הלכות קריאת, I'm sorry, ספר תורה. תקנה. I'm not sure if I have introduced this word before. Probably it has happened, but maybe you don't remember. Takana is is the act of enforcing the halacha. Takan is when someone enforces an halacha, a law. So you're going to see exactly how it happened. So a takana, feminine, is the institution of the law. So who enforced it? Who told you to do this? Okay, the takana. And in this case, it is the Kiryat Sefer Torah. Ilhot, we know alaha, we know alahot, but since this is construct absolute, then the kamat that was in this here, which is a full vowel, becomes a half vowel, or at least a short vowel. In this case, it becomes a hirik. So alaha is the noun, alahot is the plural form of the noun, and ilhot is the construct form of alahot. So ilhot Kriyat Sefer Torah, the alahot for the Kriyat construct absolute. Okay, ilhot Kriyat, you see tav and tav. This comes from kara. It means he called, he read. So, Ilhot Kiryat Sefer Torah means the laws for reading the Sefer Torah. So we're now discussing the laws regarding reading the Torah at home or reading the Torah whenever you want to. We are discussing the halacha concerning the Kiryat Sefer Torah, the laws for the public reading of the Torah. The reading of the Torah from a scroll, from a sefer. And that's why in the picture you have a Sefer Torah. Very well. That's why I chose a picture of a woman studying the Masechet. Masechet, which Masechet is that? Sefer Tehillim. Oh, no, that's the Sefer Tehillim. That's the Psalms. But on the back, people are with Sidurim. I thought it was a Masechet, an edition of the Talmud. There is one that looks quite similar to this one. But the idea was to bring forth pictures of people studying the Halacha, as we have in many other pictures. So, Tukan or Tuchan, Tuchan or Tukan, Tukan. This is generally. Let me explain first. In order to organize our studies, for example, we have. I wish we do both the first two questions. We cannot do the third one in this class, but we continue studying, of course. But at least we'll try to answer the first question. Okay? So when you have a series of topics, you need to organize the topics in tukanot. Tukan i nyanim, tukan inyanim, tukan inyamim. Yamim is regarding the eyes. So it's an organization for the eyes. What does it mean? Tukan inyanim is when you organize a list of topics that you are intended to present. If you have a book, the Tukan Inyanim will present all the chapters of that book. In the case of a class, I bring this Tukan to organize the questions for my topics. So it is the table of content for this series of class. What is the first question? And remember, everything is except the text from the Chumash and the text from Masechet, from the Bible and from the Talmud. Everything else is modern Hebrew. Okay? So, mi anig et atakana. Mi anig et atakana. Mi anig et hatakana. We know me. I'm not sure if you know anig, or hanhig. No, that's really strange to say. This is pure modern Hebrew. I'm not sure if we have this verb in the Torah because we have other verbs that sound like it. Etakana. Atakana is the establishment of an halacha. So, mi anig et atakana. Who endorsed it? Who established? Who thought? All these verbs go together in this one because the idea is of a lawmaker. And remember, we are using takana because we are dealing with a period in history for the Gemara. Nowadays, we are not referring to the same act as takana. The Nevi'im could pass a takana. The Rishonim, the first ones, and the prophets, they could pass, they could endorse, they could establish, they could teach a takana, which is a bill of law, an halacha. Nowadays, we don't have it because we don't have the same authority, sort of saying. Okay, we have the same practice. We have people that are passing alahot for our times, but we don't call it takana, because takana refers to a specific moment before the common era in our history. Okay, very well. Me, who, anig, who introduced it, who ordered the takana? That's the first question. Who organized when the public reading of the Torah is intended to be uh, addressed in the synagogue or anywhere else that is you can do a public reading of the Torah? So who established that? Who established the takana? The second question is Kiryat Sefer Torah Matai. Kiryat Sefer Torah Matai. The first question is who established the takana? And the third question is Matai. Matai means when. Kiryat Sefer Torah, the public reading of the Torah. When? Naturally, I can read the Torah anytime I want. Anywhere I want, if I have it by heart. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I shall read the Torah. But we're not dealing with a devotional, personal reading of the Chumashim, of Hamishah Hamishah Torah. We're dealing with Kiryat Sefer Torah, with the public reading of the Torah. Matai, when? So let's stay with those two questions for now. Okay. In modern Hebrew, it's alright if I use a question mark or a comma. It's alright, we can understand that. But remember, Hebrew is a agglutinative language, which means if I have me, I know it's a question. Because me is not at the middle of the sentence. It is actually starting the sentence. So I know it is a question. Me, anig, et takana. Who established this takana? Who established this bill of law? So I don't need an exclamation mark. Remember, we don't have this in the Torah. We don't have this in the Gemara. We have this in modern texts, but they're not 100% necessary. So I wanted to show you the two ways you can express yourself, both with a question mark or just leave it like that, because we know whomever is able to speak Hebrew knows that if you start a sentence with ma, which means what, and me, which means who, then it's about to be a question. Anyways, me anig et takana. Well, the sages the Gemara teaches us that Moshe Rabbeinu, and here you have Moshe by Michelangelo. We have David, we have Moshe. It's outstanding work of art. There is this Argentinian writer called Borges, and Borges says that man, they fear time. We all think about getting old, so we fear time, the passing of the time. But if you ask time, what time fears, time would answer the pyramids and the work of Michelangelo. You say, because the pyramids of Egypt and the works of Michelangelo in marble, they are everlasting. They are intended to be there for all eternity. So this is Moshe Rabbeinu. Let's see the text in modern Hebrew, shall we? Moshe Rabbeinu, hu haya ze. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, our Rav, who he. So this is a classic, a common modern Hebrew structure. Moshe Rabbeinu, who he haya, the verb to be that can be used in situations like this. Haya ze shehanig et aseder. So I'm using a broader vocabulary here. Moshe Rabbeinu, hu haya ze shehanig et aseder. Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the one, he was this, he was the one, and you can see the use of the verb to be is not the most common. Hayazeh, hu hayazeh is almost like one whole expression. Hu hayazeh, it means it is the one who. It is the one who. Okay? We have shin here because it's a verbal construction. Shehanig et a seder. You know seder. We know seder as a dinner, for example, right? We have a seder, but the idea of a seder is that you have an order. We have steps. So another way of establish the takana, I could just repeat, right? She'ani get the takana. But no, we can broad our vocabulary in Hebrew. You know seder, and here I'm presenting another way of using this vocabulary. Why? Because the public reading of the Torah, the Kiryat Sefer Torah, follows an order. You have the Birkat Kiryat Torah, the blessings in order for you to read the Torah. We have Barihu, okay? We have Baruch Hashem, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Kiddushanu. No, we don't do Asher Kiddushanu. Baruch Hashem, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher. What's it called again? Asher natan lanu Toratu. The one who gave us his Torah. And we have Kaddish Titkabal after we read the Torah. Remember, every time we read the Kaddish, it means we have just finished a section of Tefillah. So, in the following classes, we will debate whether or not the public reading of the Torah is the fulfilling of a mitzvah or it is part of our tefillot. It is part of our praying service. This is another question in Halacha, but let's start from the beginning. Who established the takana? Mi anig et takana. Moshe Rabbeinu, hu haya ze she'anig et seder. He established the order. An order not as an ordinance, order as one thing coming after the other, a sequence. And let's see the basis for this alaha, for this takana. Okay, Chumash. It's not there, but it's Chumash Shemot, the book of Shemot, Perashat Beshalach. So let's find ourselves within the Torah. Chumash Shemot, Perashat Beshalach. Chumash Shemot, Perashat Beshalach. Oh, but I need the chapters. Oh, okay. You need the chapters. So, chapter Tetvav, verse Kafbet. tet, vav. This is one of those examples that we need to take further look. What is the number for tet? Aleph, bet, gimel, dalet, he, vav, zayin, het, tet. So tet is 9. What is the gematria for vav? Aleph, bet, gimel, dalet, he, vav. So tet plus vav, 9 plus 6, 15. Oh, so why don't we use 15, which should be yod? What is 5? Aleph, bet, gimel, dalet, he. If I put yod with a he, someone may mistake it by the name of God, Yod He, Yah. So in order to fulfill the commandment and avoid using the name of Hashem, we don't write the number 15 Yod He. We write it Tet Vav. And what is the verse? Kaf Beit. Yod is 10, Kaf is 20. So, Chumash Shemot, Perashat Beshalach, chapter 15, verse 22. Tet Vav Kaf Bet. So what does the Torah say? Let's start right here. Vayasa Moshe et Israel miyam suf. Again. Vayasa Moshe et Israel miyam suf. Mi yam suf. We need to find our verb. And as we find the verb, we find the subject for this verb. Naturally, if I have Moshe, Moshe is doing something, and therefore I have the verb right there. Vayasa comes from nasa. Comes from nasa. Nasa means he brought. Vayasa means Moshe brought, or Moshe was bringing. Moshe was in the act of bringing. Well, if he was bringing something. What was he bringing? And that's why we have the sign of the direct object. If Moshe brought, he brought something. He brought Israel. He brought Israel. Okay? From where is he bringing Israel? Mi Yam Suf. Mi Yam Suf. Mi Yam Suf means from the Yam. What's the Yam? The sea. Which sea? Suf. The Yam Suf. Okay? The river of reeds. Okay? Let's continue here. Vayetsu, vayetsu, vayetsu. Then we have this vav with a shurek. Vayetsu, el midbar shur. Vayesu el midbar shur. So Moshe Rabbeinu brought Israel from the Yam Suf, from the river of sea of reeds, and they yatsa means they went out And they went out, El, two prepositions that are very interesting. Me, which is from, El, which is to. So he brought Israel from Yam Suf to El Midbar Shur. Midbar, the desert. Midbar, desert. And what is the name of this desert? Shur. Midbar Shur. So Moshe Rabbeinu brought Israel from Yam Suf, and they went out to the desert of Shur. Okay? So this is our context. This is the context. Now we have the section that is more important to us right now. Vayelhu, 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 Sheloshet Yamim. Vayelhu, Sheloshet Yamim. Alaha, right here. Lech, right here. Remember the parasha Lech Lecha? Lech is walking. So they walked. How do I know it's they? This is third person. This is third person plural. Vayetsu, they went out. Vayelhu, they walked. They walked. They walked. Sheloshet yamim. Shelisha, what is Shelisha? Shelisha, mi yodea. Shelisha, ani yodea. Shelisha, avot. Avraham Avinu, Yitzhak Avinu, and Yaakov Avinu. So they walked three. Why is it not? It is not Shelisha. It is Sheloshet. Why do I have a tav? Because this is construct absolute. Three what? Sheloshet yamim. 3 days. So Moshe Rabbeinu brought them from Yam Suf, and they went out to the desert of Shur, and they walked 3 days. Bamidbar. We know Bamidbar. In the desert. Vayelhu Sheloshet Yamin Bamidbar. And they walked 3 days in the desert. Velo, and this is the most important part of this important sentence, because when we refer to this takana, we say precisely these 3 words: velo matsumaim. Again, velo matsumaim. But since we refer it as a whole, we say velo matsumaim, velo matsumaim, velo matsumaim. And they did not find water. And they did not find water. So, again, Vayasa Moshe et Israel miyam suf Vayesu el midbar shur. Vayelhu sheloshet yamim bamidbar velo masu maim. Velo masu maim. And Moshe brought Israel from the sea of reeds, and they went out to the desert of Shur, and they walked for 3 days in the desert, and they did not find water. So this is the perception. 3 days walking, no water. שלושת ימים, 3 days. ולא מצאו מים, and they did not find water. In the well, there is no water. And let's see the text from Masechet Baba Kama. Some people say Bava Kama. I had classes with people from Israel. They would say Bava Kama. Some other people they would say Baba Kama. It is a Masechet, it's a tract in the Talmud, and we are studying, we're going to study a few texts from Baba Kama Pe Bit Aleph Aleph. The site is Aleph 82. So Talmud Bavili, the Talmud of Babylon, the Babylonian Talmud, Masechet Baba Kama, the tract of Baba Kama, chapter Pe Bit 82, Aleph, side, the right side, side 1, side A. Let's say, what questions have we answered so far? What are the questions that we have answered? Because we are putting ideas together, but it's important that we tie them up. We are willing to answer Mi anig et takana. Who established this bill of law? Who established that? Moshe Rabbeinu. How do we learn the reasons for Moshe Rabbeinu to establish the public reading of the Torah? After walking 3 days, Moshe Rabbeinu noticed that the people were weary. It's not any other 3 days. 3 days without water. So Moshe Rabbeinu and the Nevi'im, the prophets and Moshe Rabbeinu, they understood that since water is the Torah is always represented by water, then the same way that the people were very weary, tired, weak after 3 days of water, Moshe Rabbeinu and the Nevi'im, the prophets, they established that a person cannot go 3 days without reading the Torah. Again, Shelosh Yamim, 3 days, Velo Matzu Maim, and they did not find water. Moshe Rabbeinu, the elders and the prophets, they understood that the maximum amount of days that someone can go without reading the Torah is 3 days. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu established Kiriat Sefer Torah, the public reading of the Torah, on Monday, on Thursday, and on Shabbat. In that way, people would not pass 3 days without reading the Torah. We do Kiriat Sefer Torah on Mondays, on Thursdays, and on Shabbat. Okay? So I'm gonna end, because we finished one topic, I'm gonna end this portion of class right now, and I'm gonna immediately start recording the second part, so we have it organized. The first part of this class, answer the first question. Mi anig et takana. Who established the takana that explains the halacha of reading the Torah on Mondays, on Thursdays, and on Shabbat? We know now, Moshe Rabbeinu. And what was the reason Velo matsumaim, and they did not find water. Since the prophet Yehoshua, so not Yehoshua, sorry, Isaiah teaches us that the Torah is water. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu said the people cannot go 3 days without reading the Torah. Toda raba, lehitaot, and I see you in the next video when in the next class we will answer Kiryat Sefer Torah, Matai. What are the bases in the Gemara for the days that we read the Torah? And what else? Is it Deoraita? Is it Rabbanah? There is a list of questions regarding the Ilhot Kiryat Sefer Torah, the laws of the public reading of the Torah. Toda Rabah, and I see you in the next video.